Gonna make the profiles boom, 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 boom. What it is, you already know what it fucking is. What it is real talk, real life by a real one who really did that. What it isn't, never gonna be, is added preservatives, none of that fakery shit, man. Do we do fakery here? Does it look like a bakery here? We ain't baking donuts, homes. No O's. Real talk, homes. Only hoes. Now, trip out. What I wanted to talk about today, indubitably, in a little style in a direct fashion, and as you can tell by that thumbnail, is the Ghetto Boys. The Merced Ghetto Boys, homes. A lot of people ask me the historia on the GBs, the Ghetto Boys, how they started, where they started, why they started, how come and why come. Well, I'm about to give you the why come and the how come, how I comes, 11-inch style. But I'm about to give you the real issue right now on how it started in the historia, because guess what? Ding, 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 you got it. Menudo style, I was right there. Bang, bang, and in that fashion. So about the year, I would say 1990, whatever, the Ghetto Boys formulated. It was a plot and a plan by two individuals, one Shiloh and Big Mo, that originally were Dead End Pee-wees. They kicked it with Dead End, which is my Varrio, which had been established and around since the 80s. Not very old compared to Varrios like in LA and Sanjo and things of that nature, Salas. But by our standards, one of the older Varrios, one of the more established Varrios in the Central Valley, in the Merced area. Now, of course, when my Varrio was established, it took notice, it took fire. It was like a fucking flame that was sparked a match and it just blew up. And everybody in the town wanted to be from Dead End. Now, of course, you had the Loftboro locals on the north side of Merced that were Bangladeshing and doing their thing. And obviously, they're still around, established homes, so you know that they were doing their thing first and foremost. You had gangs like NFL, RBL, M Street, old school hoods like 11th Street, The Posse, Barrio Merced, Rifa, and the west side of Merced. These were all old established hoods, but Dead End was the most dominant hood out there. Not saying that we were pushing up on anyone and making moves like that, but at the same time, we just had all the bitches. Let's just keep it real, right? And that's just the way we're rocking. Now, at that time, we had different cliques. One being the original Vatos from Dead End, which was us, well established. And then, of course, you had Riff Raff that used to be associated with Dead End. Weren't really considered from the Varrio, but like to hang around a lot. You know, so hey, a little coke money never hurt nobody. We always had that. They always had us. So why can't we be friends? Menudo, everybody was happy. Now, at the same time, you had these little young bucks coming up in the game, you know, funny haircuts, tight pants, and they considered themselves Dead End Pee-wees. Now, at the same time that this was going on, there was a lot of red on red going on. This was early 90s, 95, 96, 97. I had just got out of YA, so it was about 97, 98. When we started to notice that there was a lot of altercations between the west side and the north side that didn't involve us, yet our name was being thrown out there all the time. Now, Sasuke, let me tell you something. Sit down here. I'm about to give you some knowledge you can't get in college. When shit starts happening on the other side of the town, when shit starts popping homes and your Varrios constantly be thrown out there, well, Vatos, hey, retaliation is a must where we're from. Vatos are going to come and decide that if for no other reason, homes, they should get their get backs, right? But Sasuke, we're kicking back, drinking a kawama de King Cobra, homes, kicking back in front of the neighborhood and hung, hung, hung. Laser tag. Vatos are starting to let us have it, and we don't even know why, right? Why? Because we're fucking norteños and we're on the corner posted con huelga, birds y todo, man, right? Or is it the simple fact that it's a retaliation tactic? Now, at this time, what was happening were the youngsters from our neighborhood, they were going over there picking fights, homes, that they just couldn't, you know, writing checks their ass couldn't catch. Don't say I didn't warn you about playing them punk games. Like, calling me, yeah. They were on some Willie D shit. They were writing checks that their ass couldn't cash, bro. So, when we found out that this was the reasoning behind a couple of my homeboys getting dusted and disgusted, we called a junta. A junta being a meeting at the Dead End Park. And we let these youngsters know that they were going to have to go ahead and keep Dead End about their mouth because they weren't playing the game right. They weren't playing the game as intended. See, there's rules and regulations in every Varrio and different ways to play the game. Now, we'll never hinder you and stop you from putting in that work. So, if you want to get your money, boo-boo. But at the same time, you need to understand, homes, you can't go hollering out a Varrio and then going slinking back up under a rock like a culebra and hiding. You need to be on first and foremost frontline status and be there when the fucking bullets come back. Boomerang shit, right? Orale, Eddie Murphy. Now, Vatos weren't ready for that boomerang, so they were like, Dead End's Dead End. Now, Charlie, that's Dead End Pee-wees. We're Dead End. There's two different things, right? So eventually what we did was we had a junta and we decided that if for no other reason, that clique was going to be null and void. No longer would you be able to holler out Dead End Pee-wees. Wasn't going to happen. Shan't happen. Shouldn't happen. It just can't happen, right? And we decided right then and there, Charles, homes, Charles Street, no more. Now, a couple of the vatos that were worthy, that were still righteous, decided that if for no other reason they wanted to be a part of Dead End continually. So they actually just started claiming Dead End. That was that. We gave them the rules with that. Like, hey, bro, it's all good. You're from the Varrio. You know what I mean? My Varrio was different, homes. Most of the people that were there were all family. Brothers, of sisters, of cousins, of their old man that fucked the neighbor. That, you know what I mean? Everybody was related. So at the same time, a lot of these vatos were the homeboys' little brothers. So they just fell right into the fold. But there were a couple other individuals that didn't like the way we dictated shit. They felt oppressed by the way we were oppressing up and just saying, hey, you can't do this or you can't do that. So they decided that for no other reason they should start their own Varrio. Now, I remember the particular day the Varrio got established, named, and cemented in stone. Concrete down, bam, foundation was set. We actually were swimming at this place called Bear Creek. Now, from anyone that's from Merced, they know exactly what Bear Creek entails. That gets a whole bunch of dirty water with dead bodies floating, okay? We're in that motherfucker like, orale, belly flop, doing our thing. And at the same time, it's a lot of youngsters, a lot of the older homeboys. We're drinking pisto. Everyone's doing their thing. And we're swimming, and a couple of the young homeboys actually pulled up on BMX bikes. If I'm lying, I'm dying, right? Palabra. They pulled up on BMX bikes talking about, hey, we're going to start our own clica. It's going to be a strong clica. Pues having respect, that feels even better. And so we said, okay, what are you guys going to call this shit? They said, we're going to call it the Ghetto Boys. I said, orale, Bushwick Bill, right? They said, no, real talk. We're going to call it the Ghetto Boys, the Merced Ghetto Boys homes. We're going to establish right there where we live. So it was the homeboy Chilo and Mo. Yes, Chilo and Mo are the original founding members of the Merced Ghetto Boys, the Varrio that's well known now, that's popularized by the rapper GB, which stands for Ghetto Boy, Young Insane. That was his original name, you know. When I was incarcerated and I knew of him, he was Young Insane. But anyways, so they established that Varrio there. Now, where Mo lived were some apartments right across from McNamara Park. McNamara Park has a deep, rich history in the city of Merced. Orale, crack cocaine in that fashion. Don't ban me, YouTube. I'm just keeping it real, right? There was a lot going on back in them days. There was actually a hood of Africano brothers that used to establish right there called the McNamara Lynch Mob. And they used to mob around there, like I said, homes, you could still walk con un pinche flashlight at 1 a.m. and find piedra all over the place. That's how much slanging and banging was going on there. It was like the movie Menace to Society. Do you got a cheeseburger? Charlie Holmes, but we got tacos. It was going down. So, because the homeboy Mo lived in these apartments and Chilo was his homeboy, his taita, always with them, they decided to establish right there. Hence, now that's the Ghetto Boy neighborhood, which is 12th Street, right off 12th and G. Now, that Varrio, we weren't tripping. They were like young dead end. It still was the same thing. We all kicked it together. Where we were, they were. Where they were, we were. There was no difference other than they having established that name Ghetto Boys. Slowly but surely, a lot of the youngsters that would originally have gotten into dead end decided to go to the boys first and then kind of establish there and later move on. It was kind of like the minor leagues to the majors. But oh, has things changed? They are now the major leagues. Like Grand Slam, Mark McGuire, Bash Brothers. They're getting their issue over there, right? Like I said in the beginning, we looked at it as kind of like still our little homies, a farm team, still part of us. But the little brother that we never wanted, but hey, your mom says, hey, I opened my legs, your dad came, and there he is, right? Bang, bang. So they started to gain numbers. And I think when they started to get incarcerated, they started to establish respect and a name for their Varrio, for themselves. Now, hence, little did we know that there was already a Ghetto Boys established down in the Los area in Los Angeles. It seems like everything that's established in Los, a lot of these old Varrios like Horseshoe, Dead End, Ghetto Boys, it seems like we derived our Varrios from them. But hence, that's not the way it goes. It's just like great minds think alike, whether it be north or south, right? So they were around. They started to gain their respect and do their thing. Now, a lot of people started to join them. And as me being incarcerated and doing time over the years, I started to hear them making rumbles and noise in the town. So I started to realize, okay, so it's all right. They're doing their thing. But at the same time, I paid it no never mind because it wasn't like such a big deal. It was just another Varrio established. We all got along. It was going to be love forever because, like I said, it was all familia. So it wasn't no thing, but a chicken wang. Now, let's fast forward to the 2020 era, right? Let's fast forward to the tightest pants I've ever seen and the funny Wediger haircuts, right? Let's fast forward to the guys fucking in the summertime wearing parkas with fur on them. Let's fast forward to people painting their fingernails and wearing glasses with no lenses. Let's fast forward. I wish we could fast forward past that, but Spencer, we're here, right? It's like fucking I got abducted by aliens. I'm looking around and all I see is homeless people and people with tight pants. It's weird. But, Spence on la tira. This is where we ended up. So I'm looking around and I see a lot of these vatos from Ghetto Boys. But one thing I like about the Boyz, and I'm going to give them the respect, is they don't participate in that funny shit. They're not wearing the tight pants, homes. They're keeping it old school. They're really established gangbanging, homes. They're really doing their thing. Now, I'm not going to put all their business on the streets and saying what they do and what they don't do. But at the same time, homes, let's just say they're to be well respected. Now, a lot of people from outside of the town never heard of the Ghetto Boys unless you were incarcerated with them and have done time with them, to which they have garnered a lot of respect. But at the same time, people just recently started hearing about them because of the rapper GB. Now, I did a spill the other day concerning the rapper GB. Although we have had our differences and we probably can never see eye to eye, I'm not here to wolf, slander, shit, defecate, anything on his name, because I respect his get down. I respect his talent. I respect the way he's keeping Merced, that flame lit, and putting Merced on the map. So it's good. I see it. Do you see it? I see it, right? He's definitely doing that. Now, at the same time, people are starting to see what he's doing, and he's making the right moves. He's putting on for his hood. He's putting on for his Varrio. He's keeping the tight circle around him of real righteous characters, real righteous individuals, homes, that are from the Boyz. And the Boyz have now established to being probably the most dominant group in Merced. Y'all said it. Spencer did. Woo! Spencer, homies. You know, they done took over. The young bucks done took over. And that's the way it's supposed to be. As being an older homie back in the days, you're supposed to lace people up, educate them, establish homes, and hope that they move on. You know what I mean? First and foremost, hey, they exceed expectations. The Boyz have done that. They're bringing back stores in the neighborhood. They're establishing fundraisers, giveaways, rap artists, everything that we wanted to do, but we were too busy hitting the pipote langote to worry about it, right? Everybody was over here like, hey, when I grew up, I want to be a rapper. Yeah, well, first you got to put that fucking, the teener down before you can be a rapper, right? Sounds good, but I rap better when I'm high. Yeah, I know. Sounds good. And that's just what everybody was on. Well, the Ghetto Boys have took it to different limits, to different heights, and they're to be well respected by that, or for that. Now, GB, like I said, there was some animosity and some friction between us. You know, there was a song that was put out there called War, where, yeah, they never said my name, but said, yeah, I kind of took it that way, and I was just the old ass motherfucker whose war stories didn't count anymore. Spence on la tira. Hey, guard! Do my war stories count? No, bitch. Okay. I guess they don't. Maybe they don't count. But at the same time, I'm still going to spit them and speak them because they're coming from a real motherfucker who did that. Now, you have to understand, when you're running around in the city, in a town, claiming a Varrio, claiming an organization, or being a part of a group, you have to respect the people who came before you. Whether or not they're in good standings, bad standings, great standings, the worst of standings, right? As long as that motherfuckers can still stand, homes, they're to be respected, because guess what? Their motherfucking ankleization, that's the new word of the day, ankleization. The ankleization isn't broke, right? As long as their ankles are still ready to cankle, homes, they can still get their issue on. You know what I mean? Gangsters don't dance. That's it. They boogie, right? Bang, bang. So anyways, you're supposed to respect all those that came before you. There was a lot of individuals in my lifetime that I didn't even like. But I respected what they established, because there was no way I was going to keep hollering Norte or putting red paños in my fucking, out there, or doing the things I done without them doing it first. Always respect those who came before you, whether or not fucking you like them. Now, the only way I wouldn't respect that, they do some weird shit. Sounds like some weirdo stuff. He was, scratch his name off the telephone book. Never again take a second look. He's to be eradicated and erased from memory. But if a motherfucker just fell out because of some red on red, or because fucking someone didn't like him, or he didn't like someone else, I'm not going to fucking shit on everything he did. I'm going to say, okay. I mean, the Vato's no good anymore, but yeah, I remember when that Vato put in that work. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even know how to load something if it wasn't for someone like him. I'm just saying, though. Everyone feels differently. But the Boyz have established for themselves. Somewhere along the lines of me doing time and being MIA, missing in action from the Varrio, and just being, Spencer, I was incarcerated. What do you want me to do? I said, shit, I had to do the crime and the time, right? So I'm over here told on doing time. Meanwhile, these guys are really fucking uprising and really handling their business. Now I hear whispers and a lot of people hating on them. Hey, the Boyz, bro, they're just a whole bunch of young bucks, crazy motherfuckers. They ain't about that action. No, Spencer, no. They are about that action. When a Varrio was established, as late in the game as they were, and continues to take notice, continues to rise, continues to accumulate numbers, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not shout it. I'm telling you why. Right? These motherfuckers are coming to town. Orale. And they're coming with the whole bolsita of something that'll wake you up. Allegedly. So anyways, I got to give respect to the Boyz. I kind of wanted to talk about their history because a lot of people, I've seen people talk about it. They got it fucked up. I was there. I was there the day Mo said Ghetto Boys. I said, Orale, Ghetto Boys. Him and Shiloh and Chamo and all the other ones, some Sugar Bear and Fat M and all these real righteous individuals. One thing I like about them is I don't know who's lacing them up or how they're doing what they're doing, but they're doing it right. And it's to be respected. Now, am I going to say it's the craziest, hardest Varrio I ever seen in my life? Charlie Holmes. It's just like any other Varrio, a bunch of Mexicanos, a bunch of Africanos, Chicanos, whatever you have, whatever the case may be. Paleta man, fucking tacos on every corner, and fucking prostitutas fucking giving mamones in the back of an alley. Said, yeah, I know. I ain't gonna lie. I walked that alley one time. It was bomb. Anyways, allegedly. With that being said, I kind of just wanted to put out there a little bit of the history because Merced wouldn't be Merced without the Ghetto Boy Historia. We're going to get into a lot of the other historias of a lot of different Varrios, a lot of different places eventually over time. Like I said, Holmes, I'm not going to put any of their alleged crimes out there. That's not my get down. I'm not here to speak on something that I shouldn't be spoken on. But at the same time, I will say that they are to be respected. And not because they got a good rapper from their hood, and not because they got a good name in the Pinta, Holmes, but because they're young men, Holmes, striving in a Varrio, Holmes, where it's rough and tough and trying to elevate their status to get up out of there. There's a lot of Vatos from that first era that have grown up. They now have families. They're now doing their thing. See, that's what happens in this gang lifestyle, in this gang world. What happens is you start off, Holmes, you're ingrained. This way, all I learned from the Varrio, I hope the Pope blesses me, right? And you go out there and you handle your business con un pinche 25 and hope it doesn't backfire, right? And handle your shit, and then eventually you get an old lady or maybe a couple old ladies, like me, right? You get a couple old ladies, have a few kids, and then start to realize, Holmes, there's more out there than just being out there in the calle slinging pierda. Maybe at some point in time, Holmes, you need to watch fucking Captain K-Man with your kid and see what time it is and pay attention to your priorities. And then eventually over time, you're barbecuing, and now you're the older homeboy. The homeboys come to get educated by, and hopefully you keep your ass up out of prison and don't have to go that route. Then, on the other hand, if you're the one that goes to the Pinta and you're Pinta bound with the CRN, the Granca, and doing what you have to do, then a lot of people know you to be that OG that's fucking general population, righteous in the game, and you could give the little homeboys the klecha, the knowledge they definitely won't get in Heald College, right? And they can come up and establish for themselves. Either way, Holmes, a Varrio is a Varrio. It's just like any other. There's going to be hitters from every hood and there's going to be quitters from every hood. And it's up for you to decipher how you're going to carry yourself and what you're going to be. Merced Ghetto Boys, the utmost respect, Holmes. One of the most well-established and righteous Varrios ever to come out of the city of Merced. And I was right there when it happened. Like I said, there's always a reasoning behind why something springs up. Hey, but there's no reason to tear it down. You know, for all those that are hating, they ain't about shit. Suck my pipa. And in that fashion, or preferably have your old lady do it because I don't get down like that. Orale, Spence on la tira. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about struggling and striving for your familia and for those you really care about. Do it. Baby, we can do it. I'm about to hit the butterfly on their ass right now. I ain't tripping. If you like this, please hit that like and subscribe with a thumbs up. Not, thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears this Raiders crown. Hey, second we won. That's it. I can wear it. Bang, bang. And in that fashion, you already know what I'm here to do. I'm here to fucking bring together the black, the brown, sprinkle in the woods, brother, and every other person, man, that wants to be included. This is Gunner's Profiles, where we're styling, profiling, and we're doing it like Ricky Flair. Woo! Bang, bang. This is the gun. Shout out to the Boyz.